Hey y'all, welcome back to A Dinosaur in the Library. I'm Dawn, and I'm here to do my Anti-Bullying Week Readathon wrap-up. So I got way more reading done this week than I really thought I was going to, because I have a ton of crap going on for school, got a lot of grading to do, it's the end of the semester, but I slacked off one day and just jammed in some reading, and then I slacked off another day and jammed in some reading, but that is okay, because every once in a while, you have to do that. And to keep your brain from exploding, honestly. And true story. So, but I did get most of the stuff I needed to get done finished anyway, so I didn't really do anything too bad. But so I'm going to talk about the 4 books that I got read this week. And I'm really excited that I got through all of these because 3 of these have been on my to be read list forever. And it's not that I felt bad that I hadn't read them or I felt guilty that I had read them. It's just that I was really interested in reading them and I just had not had the time to get to them. So yeah, anyway, I'll go ahead and get started. So I already talked about Matilda in my midweek kind of what I'm reading for this readathon video, and I will link that below just in case you missed it. But there's not a whole lot to say about Matilda except it's freaking awesome. It's Roald Dahl, and if you haven't read Matilda, what are you doing with your life? Go get it. Really short. Really short. I mean, this is a very compact edition, and it's it's Roald Dahl, it's middle grade, so, but go read this, it's amazing. The second book I reviewed in the other video, so I'll link that down below, and I won't talk about it a whole lot, but that is Wonder by R.J. Palacio, and I really did like this book, although I had not a love-hate relationship with it, because I couldn't hate it, but just kind of a love-meh relationship, I guess, but it was a really great book for this week, and just a really great message in general. Always choose kind, people. And so now on to the other 2, and you'll have to excuse me, my sinuses are all screwed up, and my allergies, so my nose is itching, so I'm not like, yeah, anyway. So the next book I read was El Deafo by C.C. Bell, and I've had this checked out of my university library for quite some time now, but this was a Kirkus Prize finalist and a Newbery Honor book, and it is a graphic memoir, and yes, the author is not a bunny, but, you know, it's a graphic memoir nonetheless, and it's all about Cece, who is the main character, obviously, because it's a memoir, and about how when she was about 3 or 4, she got meningitis, and that led to a hearing disorder, hearing loss, not hearing disorder, and I can't talk tonight. I don't know what the problem is. So she ended up having to wear hearing aid, not just the little small hearing aids, but this was, I'm not really sure. I'm guessing from how old I think she is and some of the references, I'm guessing this was the early 80s, possibly the late 70s. So it was like a large box that she had to wear around her neck with the hearing aids, and then the teacher had to wear a microphone, and then later on she had smaller ones over her ears that she could wear at home, but the teacher still had to use the microphone. But anyway, she creates this superhero, El Deafo, which is on the cover here, which is kind of reflective, so I'm trying to let you see it, to kind of help her deal with the universe in her head. And it's kind of awesome. I absolutely loved this book. I can't remember if I gave it a 4 or 5 stars on Goodreads, but I really enjoyed it. And she talks a lot about, you know, growing up while dealing with this and having to deal with not really being able to express herself well to others, and the things that come with being a hearing impaired person and how other people treat you. And there's not a ton of bullying in this, but it does exist in here. There's some regular, what you think of as regular bullying, so like a jackass kid being a jackass kid, but then there's also one of her friends is kind of a bully. She's never really, she doesn't beat her up or anything like that, but she's never quite as nice as she should be, and she's very bossy and very demanding, and it's a type of bullying. So, and you can tell that Cece is not comfortable, and she doesn't really understand how to express herself in such a way that will make it so she doesn't have to deal with it anymore. So that's a really interesting sort of thing that you don't really see in bullying storylines in most children's literature. So I really enjoyed that story. Not enjoyed that it happened to her because it was obviously true, but enjoyed actually seeing it in print because that does happen. It's kind of like the Matilda thing with the family being the bully. You know, there's so many different kinds, and I think people need to be aware of all the different kinds. Bullying doesn't always look like intensely vicious or violent. Sometimes it's really subtle, and it can be just as bad. So, yeah. But anyway, I really, really loved this book. I love graphic novels, and this is just a really excellent one. You can see why it was a Newbery honor. And yeah, so if you like graphic novels at all, or if you like graphic memoir, you should definitely go check this out, because I really want to look at her other book. I think she has at least one, Rabbit and Robot the Sleepover, which I think is a picture book, because it won the Geisel honor. So I'm pretty sure that it's either a picture book or another semi-graphic novel for younger children. But I really want to check it out because I liked this artwork. I thought it was super cute. Okay, and the last book that I got to was a nonfiction young adult book called Beyond Magenta, Transgender Teens Speak Out, written and photographed by Susan Kuklin or Kuklin, I'm not sure which. And what this is the true stories of 6 teenagers who fall under the broad heading of transgender. One I think identifies more as intersex, but transgender, they're classified as that in this book. And this was a Stonewall honor book, and just an all-around awesome book. I think I gave it 5 stars, either 4 or 5 stars. And not only is it just a really excellent book, it's a beautifully put together book. It has the very slick pages. It has gorgeous photography of all the teens. This is a picture of one of the teens mid-transition. And each story is told in the teen's own voice and own words. And Susan Kuklin does say things in the middle, but as you can see, the italicized text, those are her interjections. So it's very clear when she's speaking and when they're speaking. And she did these interviews through there's a community center in New York that provides a health service for LGBTQ teens. Actually, I think it's for teens in general, but they specialize in helping transgender teens get through counseling, the counseling and stuff that you have to get through before you can begin to transition. So, and they help them with hormone treatments and things like this, and it's free. So it's just a really excellent organization. And there's different resources in the back too as well if you're interested in more information. But I loved this book quite a lot. I read fairly widely in LGBTQ literature, especially if you're young adults, because that's kind of what I do. But there are several newer ones that I just have not gotten to because I have not had the time, and this one was one of them. So this one and El Defo are from my university library. They were purchased as part of a sort of a mini upgrade to our LGBTQ collection, and I was very proud to be part of suggesting those being bought, because I think these are definitely needed in any library, because you got to think, college students, the freshmen are coming in, they're barely out of high school, they're 18 years old, a lot of them. There are older students, but a lot of them are 18, 19 years old coming out of high school, and this is still what they look like. You know, this is still their lives. So this goes through, you know, everything from them beginning to understand what is going on in their head and how they want to identify, including pronouns, and do they want to transition. And it also includes a discussion of bullying that they went through, emotional difficulties, problems with families, physical violence, this sort of thing. So this is a really, really good book. Really honest look at what it's like to be a transgender teen. Obviously, there's only 6 stories in here, so this doesn't cover every single transgender teen's experience, but it's a really good place to start if you're interested, and I think everybody should read this. So there you go. And those are all the books I got to during the Anti-Bullying Week Readathon. I hope that you guys read some awesome things, and I will be back soon with another video, and I hope to see you there. Bye!